today we're going to talk about the new Kenzen Vital Balance. It's a meal replacement mix, it's nutritional support, and you can even obtain some fat loss. Nikken labels it as food for action and food for thought, and we'll tell you why as we do the rest of this presentation. When I was in medical school, I was taught that the greatest medicine of all is to teach people how not to need it. I'm sure you'll all agree that's a great statement. And how about Hippocrates, who quipped, "Let food be your medicine." We have a problem today. Obesity, lack of energy, cognitive decline. Think about workers and co-workers and students who just can't stay focused and don't have the energy or the ability to do their jobs at 100% capacity. You know, we think this generation of children will be the first generation to not outlive their parents because of obesity and the healthcare issues that it brings. When was the last time you were on a plane? Didn't you expect the pilot and co-pilot to be functioning at 100%, taking care of you and all the other passengers from the time the plane took off until it landed safely? And how many of you have elderly parents or relatives whose cognitive function is declining, causing them not to be able to take care of their activities of daily living and possibly need to go into assisted living or nursing home status? What can we do about it? The solution? The new Kenzen Vital Balance, taken daily. How does it work, you may ask? Well, reportedly, it works really, really well. I'm going to give you a little bit of a summary and then we'll go into some of the details of each component of the Kenzen Vital Balance. You know, we've said that it's better shake than other shakes on the market for meal replacement, for nutritional supplementation, and even for fat loss. And if you want more information on that, get a hold of a copy of the audio done by Roger Drummer, "Our Shake is Better Than Your Shake," for details. We know that the Kenzen Vital Balance provides 18 grams of vegetable protein that comes from pea, rice, and hemp. The pea protein is the highest grade and is obtained from a manufacturer in Europe. It's only 125 calories per serving when mixed with water, and it has magic medium chain triglycerides that give the heart and the brain direct energy. Lots of us are exposed to the toxins of the environment, both naturally and man-made, and therefore the Kenzen Vital Balance is helping to detox with natural components like chlorella and coriander. We need healthy immune system for digestion and improved immunity, and probiotics are the things that provide that. So probiotics have been added to the new Kenzen Vital Balance. At the age of 50% of our digestive enzymes are either no longer available or no longer work correctly. So in their intelligence, Nikken has added digestive enzymes for better breakdown and absorption of not only the Vital Balance but other things that we eat. There are additional vitamins and mineral supplements added, and it has a great vanilla taste with third generation stevia, which has no aftertaste. Best of all, it costs $2 to $3 per serving. Where can you find breakfast or even a drink at Starbucks for $2 to $3 a serving? We mentioned that it has only 125 calories per serving. That's when mixed with water, preferably Pymag water, but you can also mix it with almond butter, dairy, soy, or fruit juices to make a smoothie. The recommendation, however, is to take the 2 scoops of Protein Vital Balance with plain water first thing in the morning to change metabolism. If you want to maintain weight, you can replace your lunch at least twice a week. However, if you want to lose weight, if you're not diabetic, you want to replace breakfast with the 2 scoops of protein plus water and wait at least an hour before consuming anything else. For the first week, avoid pastas, breads, and fruits, and eat primarily meats and other types of protein as well as vegetables. If you're diabetic, you may need to follow that plan for approximately 2 weeks. After you've set up that initial change in metabolism, then you can add more fruits and vegetables, or use the Vital Balance only 5 or 6 times a week, mixing it with other things like fruits and making your smoothie. But it's so important to not any carbohydrates initially in the morning to change that brain chemistry and decrease sugar cravings. The rest of the day, eat a balanced diet from whole fresh fruits. We know that it takes at least 850 to 1,000 calories per day total in order to get the minimum nutrients that the body needs to function. We all know that exercise is important, so try to add 20 to 30 minutes of aerobic exercise at least 5 times per week. Niken's Vital Balance is a functional food. It can help people of any age, from children to geriatrics, stay healthy. It was designed by a team of scientists using biological research. It supports brain function and contains 7 enzymes to aid digestion. However, there's no salt, dairy, soy, whey, lactose, or GMOs. In addition, it's vegan and kosher certified and gluten-free. I always wonder how there can be anything left to put in such a drink when you have all those restrictions taken care of, but Niken has done it, and with a very tasty drink indeed. The proteins are from, as we mentioned, pea, rice, and hemp, and provide a complete protein, a total of 8 grams per 2 scoops. Now usually you can only get a complete protein by combining the proper vegetable ingredients or eating an animal protein, but the combination pea, rice, and hemp has given exactly that in this drink. Let's take a look at Google and see what protein requirements are in general for different age groups and male and female sexes. Infants need a maximum of 10 grams of protein a day, where teen girls and adult women can require between 46 grams per day, and men needing 52 to 56, whether they're a teen or an adult male. However, pregnant or lactating women require up to 71 grams of protein a day. So wouldn't this be an excellent way to add 2 midday snacks to an already nutritious, balanced 3-meal a day for a pregnant or lactating woman? Another way to calculate requirements is to have not less than 10% nor greater than 35% of the total daily calories coming from protein. This all helps to form lean body mass or muscle mass. So sometimes what happens in the initial use, even when people are using it correctly with just the protein plus water, they aren't seeing a scale weight change, but would in fact see increase in muscle mass. And as we know that muscle weighs more than fat, it may be that they do not lose weight initially, but do see changes in inches. There is no saturated fat, and there's no calories that come from any type of protein. I'm going to take you back to a little bit of biochemistry. You all know that food is made up of protein, fat, and carbohydrate. And each one has to go through various pathways to ultimately get to acetyl-CoA. Now, acetyl-CoA, through its metabolic pathways, ends up becoming energy in the form of ATP, which is critical for each cell in the body to function at 100%. Medium-chain triglycerides, or the fat that makes us thin, comes from either coconut oil or palm oil. We choose to use palm oil that also contains antioxidants, the things that decrease aging. This palm oil, or medium-chain triglyceride, is converted to ketone bodies by the liver. Then those ketone bodies go directly to the brain and heart to provide that ATP energy, unlike long-chain triglycerides or saturated fats. Let's take a look at a little schemata about it. In the left lower corner you see the fatty acids through ketogenesis becoming ketone bodies and directly providing ATP to the heart and to the brain. The other form of metabolism is gluconeogenesis, which has multiple different steps before being able to provide glucose to the brain, which is then in turn turned into ATP. There is no impact on insulin levels by medium-chain triglycerides, It increases metabolic rate or thermogenesis, which then helps to burn extra calories, and therefore it is the fat that makes us thin. Helps to improve mental function because the brain immediately gets the nourishment and ATP that it needs from that breakdown of fat. Let's take a look at what that looks like. In the middle of this schemata, we have the blood-brain barrier, the dark line down the middle. Blood-brain barrier, in my mind, is like putting saran wrap over the brain to prevent any toxins from damaging it, so it's the very last organ to quit when the body is exposed to heavy toxins. On the right side, in the blood, we see sugar coming from the various foods that we eat, and sugar is transferred through the blood-brain barrier, also remaining sugar, and then having to be broken down by a metabolic process to become that acetyl-CoA, which turns into energy and ATP. However, fat goes through ketogenesis, and ketogenesis in the liver directly supplies that acetyl-CoA, which directly gives energy to the brain and the heart, as we mentioned before. So, if in the morning all you have is the 2 scoops of Vital Balance with water, what happens is you get the ketone bodies from the medium chain triglycerides, and they bypass that sugar breakdown, producing energy immediately in the brain. Protein causes tyrosine that is used in making dopamine and norepinephrine, and those are 2 of the chemicals found in the brain. You see them in the lower circle and the upper left circle, and those 2 chemicals promote alertness and energy, which is what we want first thing in the morning. Carbohydrates, however, like milk, juice, fruit, cause tiredness and fatigue by increasing tryptophan. Tryptophan makes serotonin, the upper right hand circle, which calms. That's not what you want to have happen in the morning. There have been links between medium chain triglycerides and memory, according to clinical research, that happens when we age. We also know that MCTs help to control appetite, and these are some of the studies that back up. Another area that's important is our gastrointestinal health, and that's primarily determined by the amount of probiotics we have in our gut. Probiotics are the friendly bacteria versus the unfriendly or pathogenic bacteria, fungi, etc., that can invade and cause health issues. Normally we have 100 trillion good bacteria in the gut that help to prevent those bad guys from entering the body via the gastrointestinal system. These probiotics help digest carbohydrates, absorb minerals, produce certain vitamins, and are responsible for absorbing more than 10% of our daily calories. That, in fact, then contributes to a really healthy immune function in the primary source of the gastrointestinal system. Each serving of Kenzen Vital Balance contains over 2 billion units of Lactobacillus plantarum and Bifidobacterium bifidum. We know that yogurt, pickles, and sauerkraut also increase those same good bacteria. But who likes to eat pickles and sauerkraut and yogurt every day, let alone 10 containers of yogurt, which is what it would take to get the same amount that you can get from 1 serving of Vital Balance. As we mentioned, the body is constantly being bombarded by natural and man-made toxins in our physical environment. So Nikken has put cilantro, coriander, and open cell chlorella, which is an algae, which are 2 beneficial organisms that help to remove heavy metals from the body. That's synergistic with organic alfalfa, spirulina, broccoli, and spinach, which are also contained in the Vital Balance. Of note, those of you who are taking Coumadin or warfarin need to check and work closely with your physician at the start of using Vital Balance on a daily basis, because as we know, those leafy green vegetables can affect vitamin K, which then can change the amount of clotting that happens in your system, and you may need to have your warfarin or Coumadin dose adjusted. I mentioned before that our drink was better than your drink, and this is a chart that compares across the top the various things that might be in various shakes that we should be avoiding, and the different shakes that go down the left column of the chart. If you compare all of the competition and the check marks that they have with the various ingredients to avoid with Vital Balance, you see that Vital Balance has no check marks in any of the columns. A few of the testimonials that have been given in the beginning use of Vital Balance came from Martha Sue Yeary, who noted that using Vital Balance twice a day for 1 month, she lost 8 pounds and has improved her mobility because her knees are not having to carry so much of her around. Maria Dominguez used Vital Balance and gave it a try, and after 3 weeks lost 6 pounds, having her clothes fit better. Remember, I mentioned that we're making more lean body mass, and so inches may change as well as pounds decreasing. Christina Lair in Elm, Texas, Little Elm, Texas, noticed that her hunger pains went away, and she has an increased energy, sleeping better, and had an improved memory. Side effect also was that she lost 22 pounds and 3 pant sizes. Jeremy Greco had experienced no energy crash, better mental alertness, better mood, and actually lost 10 pounds in 1 month. He also notes that it saves money because he doesn't have to buy a lot of foods that he normally would have had by just having the Kenzen Vital Balance. Mac McDonald, using the Kenzen Vital Balance, is able to have a high level of energy throughout his day, and at night when he normally would lose energy, he's still ready to perform and work at a high rate. Linda Morris from St. Petersburg, Florida, dropped 6 pounds after 9 days and lost her sugar craving. Finally, Sue Gruber, after only 8 days, noticed that her husband lost nearly 8 pounds and an inch off of his waistline. So it's true that the new Nikken Shake definitely delivers. And if you buy 3, you can get 1 for free. So ask the person that referred you to watch this presentation and how to do that. Thank you for your attention.